Hello guys, today in this video I want to demonstrate a new package, Email Utilities, by well-known Laravel community member Ashley Allen. So that package allows you to validate your emails, for example, for mailinator.com as disposable domain. This is just one of the features of that package, and I will show you a few more features, but also what's important. I will talk about Laravel starter kits and what they changed roughly a month ago in the structure of controllers of starter kits, which in my opinion made starter kits worse, less convenient for newcomers in Laravel. This is just my personal opinion, but let's go step by step. So the installation of the package is just composer require, email utilities, and PHP Artisan vendor publish for the config. By the way, this is typo here, PHP Artisan twice, and here I want to show you how to edit the package README. For example, if you want to contribute, if you saw a typo on someone's package README, you can create a pull request very easily. It doesn't need to be a rocket science. So you just click here, edit file, then it makes a fork in your own repo, like in my case, Povilas Corp email utilities. Then you make the changes in line, something, whatever. You click commit changes and then write the message for the package author, fix whatever. And that's it. It does the pull request for you. So this is how easy it is to contribute to documentation or to README if you notice small typos. This is kind of a side note. Now let's get back to the package. Probably the most useful thing that the package does is actually in the middle of the documentation is validation rules. So in addition to validation rules of default registration, for example, in Starter Kit, you may add something like email domain is and then provide some patterns, or just do email domain is not disposable. And this is exactly what I did in the Starter Kit project of React Starter Kit in this case. So as you can see in the validation email list, which was like this, I added one more line, email domain is not disposable. And this is where I want to stop and talk about starter kits. Do you see which file I'm editing at the moment? App actions fortify create new user, so it's not a controller. So if you're used to regular Laravel MVC with controllers, models, and views, this is important change. So they made in the middle of October, roughly a month ago, they introduced two-factor authentication in starter kits, which is great. So this was announced by Taylor on Twitter, and in the docs, two-factor authentication appeared for starter kits powered by Laravel Fortify. And Fortify powered two-factor authentication in older starter kits like Laravel Jetstream. So it made total sense to reuse Fortify as good old working solution. But then the Laravel team decided to go one step further and replace the controllers and routes for authentication like registered user controller, authenticated session controller, and other controllers with actions of Fortify. So this is the commit for React Starter Kit, deleting registered user controller, which looked like this, and then you would validate and place validation rules in the controller store. So this is not the case anymore for starter kits. Now all the validation rules are placed in Fortify, and also as a result we don't even have a separate file of routes auth anymore, and this is the change in routes web. Similar change for login in React Starter Kit, and similar change in other starter kits like Vue Starter Kit, very similar change. So again, Fortify create new user. And with Livewire Starter Kit it's a bit more complicated because Livewire has Vault or had Vault. So in register blade, if we scroll down, so now instead of use all of that on top, we have form to route register store, which is powered by Fortify. Basically, Fortify became the first-party citizen, the driving force of all authentication in Laravel starter kits. And even in the documentation on the very top in the introduction, now it says starter kits use Laravel Fortify to provide authentication. So if you do want to use starter kits, now you need to learn or remember how Laravel Fortify works and how to customize it if you need it. So in my personal opinion, it's technically a great decision to consolidate starter kits in one logic powered by one package instead of 3 different logics for controllers. But at the same time, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I think it would make it harder for newcomers in Laravel to find how to customize starter kits. So for example, if I'm a new Laravel user and I'm expecting to find some routes in the routes web, what do I see here for React Starter Kit, for example? I see inertia render, okay, I see dashboard, I see settings route, which is file powering the routes for authenticated settings like password, profile, and stuff like that, including two-factor authentication, which is fine. And then we can have controllers like typical Laravel. So there's app HTTP controller settings and then profile controller like a typical Laravel controller with inertia. But then for login and register, how can I know as the kind of first-time user in Laravel? Where can I customize login and registration forms or validation logic? It's not clear in my opinion. And if we try to find something in the documentation of starter kits, there's a section starter kit customization, but it mostly talks about front-end customization, so React component structure for resources, JS and chat.cn things, and layouts, and then similar with Vue.js and similar with Livewire. From what I remember, it talks mostly about components and layout customization. So then probably as a newcomer, I need to figure out that there's Fortify involved. And then if I go to Fortify documentation, I need to read all the introduction. What is Fortify? If I click, for example, on authentication, it leads me where? Starter kits. And I don't see, at least right away, maybe it's somewhere. I don't see right away how can I, for example, add a validation rule, like in my case. Fortify docs are really extensive and pretty good, actually. But again, if we're looking from the eyes of newcomer to Laravel ecosystem, in my opinion, that new change makes it harder for newcomers to adopt starter kits. Maybe I'm wrong here, maybe I'm overreacting here, and quite often in the history of this channel, I made from time to time so-called rants on what they did with our framework. And it's not because I hate decisions by Taylor or the team, and in this case, as I mentioned before, the decision makes perfect sense from architectural point of view. But since I'm teaching a lot of beginners on this channel and generally on Twitter and elsewhere, I'm trying to defend their position, and also with that I'm kind of defending the positions of Laravel framework to be adopted in the market. And I'm not the only one who noticed that, so here's Peter on Twitter, and Pushback replied to him, Pushback from the core Laravel team, replied something similar, so it didn't make much sense to leave the controllers and Fortify, since Fortify already does a lot of things automatically. And also, by the way, Breeze isn't deprecated, so Pushback confirms that, so you can still use Laravel Breeze, and I'll probably advise to use Laravel Breeze for total newcomers to Laravel for the time being. So it weirdly feels like Laravel starter kits are for people more familiar with Laravel in general, who know what is Fortify. So I'm not sure, maybe I'm overreacting here. Let's discuss in the comments below the change in the starter kit towards Fortify, and now I will show you a few more features from that email package. So if we get back to that create new user action of Fortify, this is where we change our validation if you want to. You may add a few more custom validations, so this is a lesson on how to add custom validations if you want something on top in starter kits, and this package allows you to do something like this. So for example, if you want to restrict some specific domains including some wildcards, then this is how you do it. New object of email coming from the package, and then that object has methods like domain is not or domain is, which also accepts wildcard asterisks, because that disposable, so domains like mailinator.com and others come from disposable domain list, which is in the JSON file of the package. So we can navigate in the vendor folder. You can see I did it on the left, and there's the list of disposable domains as JSON array. So if you want to validate something else on top of disposable, this is the way to do it. So for example, if I try to change that mailinator.com to something.com, it would probably be restricted as well because it's not in the pattern of ABC or XYZ. But if I do ABC, it will pass. So for example, ABCDE, but let's change that to info, for example, and then the validation will be different because this validation rule will pass successfully, and then this one comes in place. Another feature of that email package is role account. So if we navigate to that message, there's an array of role accounts list, which also gets to JSON, which is on the left. We can open that JSON called role accounts. So basically, if the email starts with those, you may want to do something about it. Not necessarily restrict, maybe check, maybe classify somewhere. So these are general roles or positions in the company instead of a real person. And I noticed that even on my own Laravel Daily.com, if someone registers as a premium member with info email address, then for example after a year, maybe that developer leaves the company and then the account belongs to general info, and then the company may forget about it, and then after 2 years, for example, the accountant from that company emails me like, we received an invoice, asking what the invoice is even for. So this actually happened a few times. Or for example, if I want to email that person trying to give some Laravel advice or even trying to promote my Black Friday deal, then yeah, info@email is a big chance of not getting to the right specific person in that company. So this is just real life scenario why you would want to do that. And also you may want to customize that list. So in the official documentation, if we get back to GitHub, you can override those JSONs, both JSONs for disposable or for role accounts. Just create your own array as JSON somewhere in the storage, for example, and then there's a file config email utilities, this one, and then instead of null here, provide the path to your JSON. So yeah, those are additional features on top of just disposable emails. And by the way, if you want just disposable emails, this package is not the first to do that. There were a lot of packages doing that in the past. So there's disposable email detection. So that's one package. Also, I found Laravel disposable emails. Also, Propagandistas Laravel disposable email with 500 stars. So yeah, just for the record, the idea isn't new. Just Ashley did it with his own twist, adding a few features on top of email disposable validation. That's why the package, I think it's called email utilities and not just disposable emails. So yeah, this is the quick overview of the package with starter kit update along the way. And if you want to find more Laravel packages, we recently updated the design and the structure of this page of Laravel packages on Laravel Daily. So in resources, best Laravel packages, currently I've curated personally more than 200. Each of them has at least 100 GitHub stars, so pretty popular. And also we added newest packages section pretty recently. So yeah, you can browse around by category or suggest the packages if something is missing. Just email me, povilas@laraveldaily.com. And quick reminder of Black Friday here on top, still active until December the 1st. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.